Oh happy days, oh happy days. Hello people, yeah, I'm sure you're loving the fact that you can actually see my mouth moving with what I'm saying. No non-synchronization now. And it's not that my internet connection's bad, it's just the fact that it's I won't even go into the details, alright? But the bottom line here is that I'm very proud of myself for having gone off my testosterone for basically 3 years. I took it, I think, probably 3 times within the 3 years, just for 1 month. So I'm very proud of myself, the fact that I did it, and that I can actually keep my head, and also that when I start to take the testosterone again, that pretty much I feel fine again. Do you know what I mean? And it just goes to show that really, I think it's to do with hormone imbalance why a lot of people are as messed up in the head as they are. And it's not about if you're an XXY and you're low in testosterone that you boost your whole body with loads of testosterone, you know, like to the amounts of, like, let's say a normal stereotypical male would have, you know, because I think too many XXYs are given too much testosterone. And I think it is important for XXYs to experiment. Obviously better if they experiment with their doctor's assistance. But as for me, I'm not into doctors, as you know. Yeah, I think it's good to experiment, you know, with your dosages, just to check whether or not the dosage that your doctor originally prescribed to you, whether or not it's actually sufficient enough, or if it's too much. Do you know? Now there's a couple of XXYs on YouTube, let's say, that are not taking testosterone, taking too much testosterone, and these people all show really clear signs of true aggression and out of control aggression. I'm aggressive myself. I can be aggressive, I can be angry, I can be violent minded, I can be negative thinking, I can be all those things that a lot of XXYs generally are, and I can admit it. Whereas most of the others, they won't admit it, because they're in their own perception of themselves, thinking that they're actually perfect, and that their behaviour is actually acceptable, socially acceptable, when in fact other people looking at them will see straight off that it's just not acceptable, the way that they carry on. And it is my duty and intention to always care for people like that, you know. And that's what I have been doing. I do care big time, but I won't be caring as much as I did, because I want to set my sights on other things also to do with intersex issues, XXY issues, whatever, trans issues, all of those things. And yes, it is a struggle to do it. Most of the people that support me that are in the intersex environment do not come onto YouTube, because they're not interested in all the negativity, and they don't want to get attacked by associating their names with me. But there's I can't wait to go to the next XXY meeting. Planning on going to a few, and really discussing with all the people that arrive at that meeting about the real true facts of what we really need to look after in our lives constantly, and that would be mostly anger management, mood swings, the tendency to be aggressive and over the top, and also the reality that misinterpretations happen a whole lot, mostly because of the way the XXY would interpret it. You know, we see things differently, and therefore it's it can be crazy sometimes when somebody says something and you take it the wrong way, you know. Yeah, it's I'm just again proud of myself for having done what I did, and making it, you know. There were times in those 3 years that I really felt so low, and I was getting threatened and getting all sorts of comments about, yeah, I should kill myself and all that sort of stuff, you know. And obviously, little times in those 3 years, I would have said to myself, yeah, why not kill myself? Of course. Which is highly disturbing for the brain when you're actually saying to yourself, yeah, what's the point? Do you know? I know a lot of people in the life, forget about XXY and intersex, a lot of people who have emotional issues, which end up being psychological issues, where they just don't understand themselves, and they don't really know how to get out of themselves, out of their own head, because the mind can kill. Your own mind can kill you, because you've got to listen to heart and gut, rather than head, when you're feeling low. And when you're feeling low, you should definitely contact people that are people who care for you, and basically put your life in their hands, because you need some kind of measuring scale, to know how far off you've gone from reality, so psychologists can come in very handy there, or very good friend, or people that know you. I mean, as a teenager, I would have been very suicidal. I got bullied in school a lot. Now, when I talk to the people that I went to school with, they're all like in disbelief. They didn't think that it was that bad for me, but yeah, it was. I didn't go to school a lot because I didn't want to go in and get bullied, the psychological trauma of that. I mean, I didn't feel confident in myself because I was told for the entire teenage times that, that I'll be nothing, and nothing will ever happen in my life, and I'll never have a girlfriend and all that sort of stuff, and I believed these people, when I hit 17, 18, 19, that rough period, because I got told I was XXY at 17, that was just the best news ever to find out that, because it just explained so much about how I think, how I felt, and so it was excellent to know. I got told that I couldn't have children a bit later on, which was highly disturbing for me, and that day that I found out, I cried my eyes out and left the office where I was told, and just disappeared basically for the day, and most people of my family thought that I was going to kill myself that day because I'd not been able to have children, which was highly upsetting. I'm getting more used to it now. I'm in the middle of the 30s now, and most of my people, friends and stuff, have children now, and having children, it is tough to watch people having children, that is true, on many levels. But then on another level, it's great to have the freedom of not getting anybody pregnant and not ever having to worry about that. The freedom of that is brilliant. So there are pros and cons to everything, excuse me. What can I say? There's just too many people on YouTube and on the internet who take it on themselves to play God, And I know many of my haters, let's just bring them into this, would say that I'm full of myself, and you wouldn't be wrong there. I am pretty full of myself, and I'm proud and happy that I am full of myself. I'm not overly full of myself, but I am definitely full of myself. I'm confident as being myself, and I love being myself. You know, I love the fact that I'm different, because I'm being me, and I love many aspects of myself. Whereas, you know, years ago I wouldn't have had that love for myself. You know, so it's a process, people. Just if you're feeling low on yourself, not feeling the best, you know, trust that vibes come along sometimes, right? And we do take the vibes in, these negative vibes of ourselves. You can filter them and you know, process them over time. You just need to breathe. You need to trust in yourself. You need to trust in life, and you need to maybe seek assistance from other people. Thank God that the internet is here, and we can actually correspond with each other, XXYs to XXYs, stuff like that. You know, that's excellent. The unfortunate thing about forum groups, though, for intersex people, is that the real full of themselves people, overly full of themselves people, tend to get into the positions of power, being moderators, administrators and stuff like that, and they're not as genuinely caring as I genuinely am. And somebody said that I act like Jesus on YouTube. Well, that's good to hear, because generally I would think that I am a bit of a Jesus, alright, on the level of truly caring about everybody, even idiots I care about, you know. When I say idiots, I mean assholes. So, you know, I'm a very all-encompassing type of person. I do reach my virtual hands and my physical hands out to people all the time. It doesn't always come back. I don't expect it to come back, because a true carer, a true altruist, let's say, will just do that. Will just do it without thinking, you know. I would call myself nearly a better Christian than most Christians put together, on the level of caring and loving thy neighbour, you know, and thou shalt not steal. And does it have a one saying, thou shalt not lie? You know, I'm very truthful, and you know, too truthful for bureaucracy. I'm absolutely too truthful for them. They can't handle it at all, because they're used to people lying to them, you know, to get what they want. Whereas I'm not going to lie to get what I want, you know. I'm going to be as truthful as I can to basically yes, to break the system on that level, to stop the bullshit, the corruption, the lies, the non-transparency of the system. You know, I like to say it how it is. And so, for instance, on an application form, I'm not going to tick male, you know, no way. And if I would do tick male because it says you have to fill in one of the boxes, male or female, then I'll tick male and put XXY beside it. Or depending on my mood, I might tick female and put XXY to it, do you know? So, you know, on that level, yeah, crazy. That most people have to lie to get what they want, do you know? It's unfortunate that you know, people who are hard done by in life have this tendency to have a bit of revenge in them. You know, that at one day that they'll get back at the people that made them feel this way in the first place. I had dreams myself of you know, when I'm older, you know, going to school reunions and basically showing off to all these people, like you know, my girlfriends or whatever, you know, or the fact that yeah, look at me and listen, I'll play music for you, wait, you hear this, you know. Last night I was in the park and geez, I got great compliments, you know. I'm getting great compliments again. I think it's like the only reason I haven't been getting complimented as much really in the last few years musically is because confidence sells. When you're confident and you do something, people like it. They like the confidence nearly more than what you're doing. They love the confidence. So my confidence is back, and I pat myself in the back for doing excellent service to other XXYs and myself. Ciao.